Okay, well, here we go. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Me, Myself, and Flint. Um, let's just say it's been a heck of a night and day and whatever you want to call it. Uh, so last night I was on my way into the house and it felt like I got shot in the back of the leg. My leg just felt like it exploded. And I went to the doctor this morning, and apparently I've got a lower leg strain. So yeah, that's what's going on. Uh, anyway, that was lovely, and I did not enjoy that. And really, not much else is going on. Just everyday life, driving in BB today, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We'll be okay. Little things going on that I have not noticed lately, but it's all good. How y'all doing? Hope everything's going well with y'all. I've gone through some depression and stuff like that here lately and not recorded a whole lot. But I'm kind of off on the way I want to do things. Initially, I was wanting to do it once a week. Then I was like, man, I got a lot of stuff to talk about, so I'm going to do it like every day. Well, that's not happened either. So we've been kind of hit or miss here and there and everything, but it'll all be okay in the long run. At least I think it will be. So it's kind of weird. The other day, a guy got talking to me at work a little bit about uh, being a soldier of Christ. I'm like, dude, that's really wild because I've done a couple episodes on like being the soldier of Christ, wearing the armor, the full armor of the gospel and everything. And I'm like, you just talking to me about this was like, dang. And he didn't even know I'd been talking about it. I was like, man, that's crazy that I'm able to just talk about this. I've been talking about this, and all of a sudden you bring it up about it too, and not knowing that it's something that I've been kind of interested in. So, anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. So, everything seems to be going pretty good, though. We've got Halloween coming up this week, which, honestly, Halloween is probably one of my favorite holidays. And I've talked about being kind of an open-minded Christian, and, I've had my experiences with the supernatural and stuff like that, and like the paranormal realm, ghosts, Bigfoot, cryptids and stuff like that as well. But it's one of those things that I don't know, it's like I feel more energy around Halloween and stuff like that. Like there's more going on, more, energy being fed into the world than what there once was, or what there is the rest of the year. But with that said, around the Halloween time, and Crystal and I talked about it on another podcast that we do, which is the Paranormal Roundtable. And I know this is more of a Christian-based podcast, but with Halloween coming up, that initially was a Celtic holiday called Samhain, and they dressed up, built bonfires and stuff like that. It was to celebrate the end of summer and the end of harvest, and the bonfires and the costumes and stuff were to scare off evil spirits. But then the Catholics came in and kind of like, hey, we like your holiday, we're taking over and we're making it our own. And they really got into the holiday, and I can't remember the king's name at the time, but he changed the holiday from Samhain to November 1st being All Saints Day, which made October 31st All Hallows Eve, or All Saints. It's basically All Saints Eve, All Hallow Eve, which shortened to Halloween, which I think is kind of cool, and really, like, trick-or-treating and stuff like that did not become popular. Well, let me backtrack just a moment. The Scottish and Irish immigrants to America brought their beliefs and their holiday to America and everything. Basically brought their traditions of Halloween to America. Then people talk about going trick-or-treating and stuff like that. Well, trick-or-treating did not become popular till the late 1940s, early 1950s, after World War II, because really at the time, from World War I all the way through World War II, people really could not afford to do stuff like that. But, there were still traditions that were around, and trick-or-treating became popular in the mid to late 1940s, and it has basically grown into what it is now. And there's a time in 2019 into the early 2020s where there's a big so-called pandemic of COVID that put kind of a stop to a lot of the trick-or-treating. But one thing that's becoming more popular, rather than going to house is trunk or treats, where a group of people, like they're at a church or at fire department or wherever, will set up their vehicles, and people can just come by there and basically trunk or treat, go from car to car instead of going from house to house, which it's more of a safer environment and everything for people to do that rather than going to the people's houses. Anyway, yeah, I I thought I'd talk about trick or treating and Halloween and stuff a little bit, and kind of the origins. I know there's a lot of there are several churches that don't practice Halloween, which they think of it more as a satanic holiday, which I really don't believe that. It's just, it started out as, a celebration of the end of summer, the end of the harvest, and, kind of, and also deterring evil spirits. Then it grew into a celebrating the saints, which, isn't a bad thing. But people still, dress up and go trick or treating and stuff like that, which, I don't see a issue with that, because some people find an issue with it because, there's dressing up as ghosts and goblins and evil spirits. Maybe a few of them do, but I mean, if you look at a lot of the costumes, a lot of them don't. So the majority of people don't dress up as, evil spirits or demonic spirits or things like that. They'll dress up as a princess or a nurse or a doctor or like Frankenstein, stuff like that. It's not a big deal or anything. I don't think it's anything to look down on or be afraid of. But anyway, that's just some thoughts I had going on in my mind as I'm driving home with my bummed up leg. So anyway, I know this one ain't very long, but I hope y'all have a good day and enjoy. If I don't talk to y'all again this week, I hope y'all enjoyed the rest of your week. So y'all have a good day. Bye.